Today, we're going to dive into a story. But this isn't a story you'll find in any history book. This is a narrative that stretches way beyond our planet, and it starts before time itself even existed. So let me just start with this one big question. What if who you are, at your very core, what if your personal history isn't just a few decades or even a few centuries old? What if it's woven into the very fabric of the galaxy? Okay, let's get into it. Our story kicks off in the very first chapter of existence. We're talking about a time before what we think of as the beginning. The idea is that before the universe, there was just this state of pure, infinite, indivisible being. It wasn't a person, it wasn't a place, it was simply the one. It just was. So what exactly is the one? Well, think of it as the fundamental, intelligent energy behind all of creation. It's often described as this great bright light, the actual glue of existence, just radiating pure unconditional love. Now, here's where this story really flips the script on the Big Bang. It wasn't some random explosion of matter. It was a flash of consciousness. The one, holding all possibilities within it, just imagines something other than itself. That creates a reflection, which sparks self-awareness. And that spark, that was the Big Bang. A single particle of awareness zipping around at infinite speed, making it seem like it's everywhere all at once. And that leads us to a really core idea in this story. The universe is holographic. What does that mean? Well, it's kind of like if you shattered an ice cube. Every tiny little piece is still ice, right? In the same way, every fragment of creation, and that includes you, contains the full pattern and the full intelligence of the whole thing. Okay, so we've set that huge cosmic origin story. Now, let's zoom in from that really abstract idea to something more specific. This is where our soul's personal galactic story really gets going. So, how did we even get here? This timeline lays out a pretty dramatic series of events. It all starts millions of years ago with a massive conflict way out in the Orion system. This created a whole bunch of souls who were looking for a place to heal and transform. And that need, well, it set the stage for everything that was about to happen on a little primitive planet called Earth, including the arrival of the Anunnaki and, you guessed it, the creation of us. So who were these Anunnaki anyway? Well, they were an extraterrestrial race from a planet in the Cygnus constellation, and they had a huge problem. Their own world was facing a total ecological collapse. Their solution? Come to Earth to mine gold, which they could atomize and spread in their atmosphere to save it. But the mining was hard work, so they genetically engineered early hominids to create a workforce, Homo sapiens. This action actually violated their own laws, and because of that, they were given the task of sticking around and guiding humanity's evolution. Now that humanity exists, the stage is finally set for all those souls from Orion and other places to start incarnating. This next part of our epic tale covers the legendary, almost forgotten civilizations right here in our own solar system. So the first attempt to create a home for these souls was on a planet called Maldek, but tragically it was completely destroyed by conflict. Today, we know it as the asteroid belt. The second try was on Mars, but it also met a catastrophic end when its atmosphere was basically blown away. And that left Earth as the last, final option, the new home for this grand cosmic experiment. The first major civilization here on Earth was Shambhala. It wasn't founded for technology or power, but as a place purely to refine consciousness, a center for spiritual learning and growth. After that came Lemuria. Now, this was a civilization that was deeply intuitive, totally telepathic, and lived in complete harmony with the planet's natural rhythms. And then, of course, there was Atlantis. This became a massive seat of global government until a comet strike caused a catastrophic tsunami that brought the whole thing down. And that single devastating event is believed to be the real origin of the Great Flood story you find in cultures all over the world. So you start to see this pattern, right? The rise and fall of these civilizations. And that brings us to the central theme, the main point of this entire story, Earth's unique and incredibly profound role in the cosmos. This is the core idea. Earth isn't just another planet. You could think of it like a cosmic grand central station. The struggle to transform darkness from the Orion conflict, the Anunnaki mission to atone for what they did, the unresolved cycles from Maldek and Mars, even another galactic story about species survival, they are all overlapping and playing out right here, right now, within us. Now, with so much cosmic information pouring into Earth, you could imagine things got a little lost in translation. This is a perfect example. A high-dimensional concept of total unity, I am all that is, was delivered. But once it was filtered through a culture's own fear-based beliefs, it got distorted into a commandment of control and separation. And all of this whole epic narrative that spans millions of years and multiple star systems, it all leads directly to the present moment. It all leads directly to you. The story points to the year 2020 as the start of a critical turning point, a moment of huge opportunity to finally break these ancient, repeating cycles of buildup and destruction for good. So here's the most important part. When you look in the mirror, you're not just looking at one person. You are the heir to this entire galactic legacy. Inside your DNA, inside your consciousness, are the echoes of all these beings, all these worlds, and all these stories. And they're all seeking resolution through you. And that brings us to a pretty profound call to action, doesn't it? Our mission, then, is to consciously take all this ancient energy to transform the darkness into light. And by doing that, we help Earth finally graduate from this recycling phase and become a stable beacon of peace and creativity for the rest of the cosmos to see. Which really leaves us with this one final empowering question to think about. In this huge, vast, cosmic symphony, every single one of us is a unique and irreplaceable note. You have a song to sing that is yours and yours alone. So the only question left is, what song will you choose to sing?